Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley Ball.
Narrated by Jesse Levine.
Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Jess, and I looked into my little Jeff Keighley ball that tells me things. I could feel it speaking to me. It would tell me, I am Jeff Keighley Ball. I am the great Jeff Keighley. That's what the Jeff Keighley ball would sound like. I'm a big fan of it. It's really funny sounding because it's like, I am Jeff Keighley. I am the great Jeff Keighley Ball. And Jeff Keighley Ball told me to play Highguard, and I'm like, you know what, it's me. Sure, Jeff Keighley Ball. I love the great and powerful Jeff Keighley Ball. I am the great Jeff Keighley Ball. And I'm going to say something that's probably going to shock the whole world. The whole world's going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're about to say this. I actually had fun playing Highguard. I had fun. Crazy how that sounds. Crazy when, the big reaction to it is, Concord number 65. Concord, boo, 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 boo. Do I think it is perfect? Definitely not. There are some things I would definitely change about it. There are some things I don't like. There are some things I don't like how it feels. But overall, when I look back at how I went through the game, I did enjoy my time playing. I'm not upset, but I'm like, this is probably a game I would like with a lot more people than just maybe me and another friend. It doesn't really feel like my favorite game in a 3v3. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like 3v3. I did not like 3v3. But as the honest reviewer myself, I have to look at both the caveats and the pros of Highguard to see whether or not we're actually having another... It's not going to be another Concord. The game's free. You don't have to pay for it. People weren't going to pay for Concord. It's just... You think I would want to play money for a shooter in this economy? A multiplayer shooter in this economy? No. Are there certain exceptions to this? Yes, but not Concord. I also feel like there was another game that was in a similar spot. It recently got shut down, Supervive. I actually really enjoyed Supervive, but it wasn't my favorite thing in the world. Even though I had a bunch of my friends playing it, I was like, I had fun with it, but I don't want to get back on it again. And it's kind of a shame, But, multiplayer games don't always last forever. But Supervive is already dead. I'm not going to dig up that corpse anymore. We got to do the real Red Dead Redemption Undead. We have to look at, will Highguard soon be a corpse? And now to analyze the pros and cons of Highguard. Now, the thing is, Jeff Keighley Ball really likes Highguard. And Jeff Keighley Ball, I like the way Jeff Keighley Ball talks. Jeff Keighley Ball goes I am the great Jeff Keighley Ball. I recommend the games and host the cool game shows. And maybe my recommendations may be a little suspect sometimes, but every game is great. I'm Jeff Keighley. And sometimes maybe people jump the gun a little bit on stuff, but sometimes you have a very bad introductory period with the game. The tutorial for this game actually sucks legitimate balls. And, I love Jeff Keighley Ball. I wish I could, have my own Jeff Keighley Ball, but there's only one Jeff Keighley Ball. And, that's just Jeff Keighley Ball. But with every pro, there is a con. And let's just say the tutorial for this game is awful. The tutorial is actually awful. I'm going to be honest. I got to chop down a tree. I found chopping down the tree to be really funny. Does it actually do anything for you at all in the game? No, but it was quite funny because it's Dead by Daylight. But oh my god, that tutorial is bad. It's so boring. There's a degree of I need to understand the game, and there's some things dude, shut up. I don't care. Get me out of the tutorial. Paladins, that tutorial, masterpiece, one of the greatest tutorials in all games. Paladins, Champions of the Realms, by the way. That tutorial sings angels to me. It's man, we aren't Highguard. We're the funny-looking high-res game. And as you know, Highguard and high-res both start with an H, which is really bad. But, those two things don't really correlate that much. Let's just say that's more of a correlation rather than causation, as they say in the science. And it's it's so bad. It is legitimate. There is no joke. That is legitimately the first introduction to the game. And I was like, this is boring. This is beyond boring. Oh my god. I'm going to be honest. If it takes a tutorial that long and you have to go through that much for a tutorial, like, I understand, like, you got to get certain information to people. You got to make sure they understand controls, but I'm going to be honest. Tutorials are, like, there is a degree of investment you have to make into games, especially like multiplayer ones, multiplayer shooters, things like that, fighting games. But the tutorial is just, they are such a bad opening experience a lot of the time. And, you know, sometimes I like going into things a little bit blind. And, you know, a tutorial can sometimes really do a lot of good work. But there's the funny guy who waves his hand, like the little, little gremlin who waves his hand. There's that guy. But I'm like, that tutorial was bad. That was a bad tutorial. I know tutorial being bad isn't the end all be all, but I'm like, it's not a good tone setter. Bad tutorials really set a bad taste. Bad tutorials really put a sour taste in your mouth going into this. You're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to expect. I don't know. I don't really like where this is going. I don't know. Oh no. I'm going to be honest. I also have a very, very high distaste for tutorials. So with that being said, I will take that caveat into consideration as a personal bias. You know, as a reviewer, I'm very good at recognizing my own personal biases. And, you know, I'll say, I won't make that the biggest slight against you. Highguard. The Gord. Paladins. But this will be still under consideration, you know. My own slight against tutorials, you know, it's like, I will put on the blindfold, you know, justice is blind, as they say. You know, I'm actually a big fan of the base raid part. 5v5, I feel like that's enough players to cover that small of a space. Honestly, I have no problem with it. I like it. It is annoying if you do bad, you get punished for not, like, successfully securing something. That's a little bit annoying, but I mean, the match is gonna take a lot longer, so I understand why. Yeah, no, that was really short. No, I just liked it. You know, I was a big fan of that, actually. I wish you could drive the siege engine, though. It's like, that's like, you could drive that. I wish I could drive that car. Like, it's a big siege tower, and I don't get to drive into it. Like, it is cool to, like, be in it and go on the raid. Like, you can zip line down. It's like, that's fun. The raid part, raiding the base, I really do like that part. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is super serial. I actually do like the base raid part. Like, looking at other caveats, I feel like this is a weird game to have, like, ultimates and abilities. You know, it's like, I can see it. Like, I understand it. I understand the appeal. You know, abilities, Overwatch, blah, 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 Concord. I don't know. I kind of feel like they're almost a little unnecessary here. I feel like they were added in as something that's popular rather than something that's necessarily necessary. But it's the Apex devs, you know, so, like, not that big of a deal. I don't really think the abilities and stuff are that big of a deal. I feel like they kind of, like, I don't know. I feel like they just don't really fit the whole vibe of the game. And then another thing I kind of feel doesn't really fit is there's the part of the game before you actually do the base raid. I just don't like that part. I think the horse is funny. The horse Paladins horse is funny. But you have like 2 minutes of sitting around, and then you can actually fight over the thing you want to actually do the base raid. And I'm like, why is there so much downtime for this? Like, we're not running around playing Fortnite or anything. It's like, oh, go around mine for... that feels so unnecessary. The whole mining for resources and stuff and looking around for stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that's really unnecessary. I don't see the purpose to it. Like, it feels like clutter. It feels like clutter to me. I feel like that part of the game is what really just made me just like, you know, this is not my biggest thing. Like, you get the horse. Like, you can ride on the horse. I like the horse. If the horse gets shot and you get knocked off the horse, you're momentarily stunned for a second. Like, you're falling off the horse and then land, and then you have to pull back out your gun. And I'm like, that does not feel good. It does not feel fun to, like, have your horse shot. So it's like, it feels also a little... You have a very fast horse, and playing on 5v5, if your horse gets poked down from afar, you're like, oh no. Oh, no. I feel like, honestly, with such a large map, I feel like the horse combat was probably going to be like the main thing that was going to be that. But in 3v3, it feels so empty. It feels so empty. And then in 5v5, it feels more like you're trying to poke everyone from afar, or you have a big rush in a small room and can take control of it. I think even with 5v5 players, the map still does feel a little too large for the game. I'm like, if you look at like Blood Gulch and have like Slayer from like Halo, that has 16 players in total. And it's like, that map can feel open. And it's smaller. It is so much smaller than the Highguard map. I mean, I still have minor complaints about the game besides that, but I feel like that's like my really overall negative experience. Oh yeah, also I can't fucking run the game that well. All my settings are on low. It's a 2026 game, and it beats my computer down to the ground. I'm like, man, what? Nah, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me, Highguard. I'm like, I was like, I do need to upgrade my PC, but it's like, man, it does not run well with my computer. Oh, it's, ooh. Oh, wait, my Jeff Keighley ball is talking to me. I am the Jeff Keighley ball. That is a lot of things to consider, but it will win Game of the Year 2026. I am Jeff Keighley ball. Thus, I have spoken. I am Jeff Keighley ball. Oh, Jeff Keighley ball, so funny. I really love Jeff Keighley ball. But I mean, overall, I don't think Highguard was that bad of a game. I feel like it kind of... I know sometimes I feel like it's very easy to jump on a bandwagon where it's like, this is absolutely awful and terrible. And you know, Highguard killed my family. They ate my dog. They said to me, Highguard was like, we're going to have a cooler horse than Paladins. Highguard was like, they stole my identity. They tried to get me to start offshore banking and stuff. I mean, they were doing illegal crimes. What else did Highguard do to me? Highguard, they said Jeff Keighley ball stupid, and Jeff Keighley ball really likes Highguard. Like, they insulted Jeff Keighley ball. Like, that's a no, boo, Highguard, boo.